Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner, and in this video I'll be giving you guys the condensed PSY-Frame deck profile that I mentioned in the last video. So this one will not be as lengthy nor as detailed as the other one. If you want to see the reasoning and explanations for all of my cards, then check out the link in the section below, as I'll be providing a link to the more detailed video, which is about 14 minutes. This is just like the speedier one for those of you who don't want to sit through 14 minutes of me blabbering about why I'm doing this and that and my thoughts on this and that. This list has not changed from the last one either, as at least until Dimensions of Chaos comes out, I don't see a need to change up my main deck at all, even with the new ban list, as if anything, the deck itself actually is going to be a bit better, as its worst matchup in Necros is gone. I don't see Necros being a predominant thing, and Shadows are also gone, so one of the decks that is capable of OTKing it is gone too. So at this point, you really just have to worry about Cosmos and the upcoming Magispector deck, but that's not going to be a thing until then. So it's just Cosmos and BA that you have to worry about, and figuring out the Cosmo matchup is going to be something I'll have to spend a considerable amount of time on, because I just don't know how to really approach it at the moment. With that being said, though, let's just get right into this. So, for those of you who are not familiar with the gimmick of PSY-Frames, you are using your gears, which are tuner monsters, to special summon this driver out of your hand, deck, or graveyard in response to your opponent making a play while you control no monsters. Afterwards, you do certain things, and then at the end of the turn, your gears banish themselves along with the driver that they summon. And then your gears have various effects for various situations. And we'll just lay them out so we can see them. So, Delta negates spells and kills them. Gamma negates monster effects and kills them. Beta negates a monster attack, kills the monster, and ends the battle phase. And Alpha is used in response to a normal or special summon of your opponent's monster while searching out a PSY-Frame card other than itself from your deck or hand, thus allowing you to get your thing rolling. And then, because you don't do anything on your turn, 3 copies of Card D to draw deeper into the deck. 2 copies of Doom Caliber Knight as a means of being aggressive, while also having you play, while giving you a card that allows you to open up your board by negating a monster effect and killing it. Hand traps, floaters, Valkyrius, doesn't matter. Doom Cal says no, and thus allows you to continue playing PSY-Frames after he's done his job. And then 2 copies of Maxi, because this is hand traps the deck. Then for the spells, 3 copies of PSY-Frame Circuit. It is your urgent tuning slash turns all monsters in your hand into Kaloots for your PSY-Frame monsters. Great for getting over big things, although now that Towers is banned, the Kaloot effect is not as good as it used to be, but it's still there for getting over Diamond Crab King. 2 copies of Terraforming to search out the field spell, and then 1 copy of Chicken Game, because I don't like the idea of having a PSY-Frame Circuit and a Terraforming in my hand and not being able to get any value out of the Terraforming other than just deck thinning. The remaining spells, 3 copies of Power Duality. You don't special summon on your turn that frequently, so there is no drawback to it. Psychic Field Zone to make use of monsters that have been banished through the effects of your gears or your trap cards. That's allowing you to summon back your Omegas or your Zetas out of the extra deck, while also being able to get them out of play immediately afterwards. 1 second pass to come back cards that have been banished through the effects of your gears and your your trap card. And 1 soul charge, because again, you don't do anything on your turn. Then for the traps, 3 copies of the PSY-Frame Overload. Field removal in the form of banishing cards face down, and if it's in your graveyard, you can banish it in order to search a PSY-Frame card from your deck or hand except itself. Banishing PSY-Frame monsters from your hand or field is also pretty good, as it sets up Field Zone and Psychic Path. And then for the 1-ofs, Bottomless Trap Hole, Torrential Tribute, and Jar of Avarice. That is it for the main deck, 40 cards, and I'd say this is a pretty standard PSY-Frame build. No Yosenju, no Wind-Up Rabbit, no Evil Storm Thunderbird. I think a Thunderbird is the worst, Wind-Up Rabbit's okay, and the Yosenjus add to inconsistencies. Then for the extra deck, 2 copies of PSY-Frame Lord Omega. Banishes himself from the field during either player's main phase to banish a card from your opponent's hand face up. During the your opponent's standby phase, you can put 1 banished card into the graveyard, and when he's in the graveyard, you can return him to the extra deck to shuffle 1 card in either player's graveyard into the main deck. He's 28, 2000, and level 8 second Field Zone target. 2 copies of PSY-Frame Lord Zeta. Much like Arc, he can out face-up attack position special summon monsters, except in this case, he banishes himself plus the card until the next standby phase, until your next standby phase. Same for Omega, he comes back during your next standby phase. And when Zeta is in your graveyard, you can return him to the extra deck to add any PSY-Frame card from your graveyard to your hand. Last time is you reuse PSY-Frame Gears and PSY-Frame Circuit and Overload if it ever gets outed. One Colossal Fighter, one Thought with Archfiend, Scrap Dragon, Stardust, Ancient Fairy Dragon, 2 Black Rose Dragons, Dark Strike Fighter, Psychic Life Transfer, Yazi, and Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosack. So, that's it for the deck itself. Changes will be made when Dimensions of Chaos comes out, as the Magispector matchup I think is going to be an issue. And Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend is actually very, very good in here, as being able to blow up multiple monsters is great, and it gives you a means of dealing with Cosmo Dark Destroyer and Cosmo Forerunner, as those 2 cards are going to be very problematic. PSY-Frame Overload can't out them, and Overload is mainly your it's how you deal with threat monsters. You just banish them face down. Plus the Cosmos being able to banish themselves out of play in order to dodge effects is also pretty good. So I think Cosmos will be the toughest matchup moving forward, followed by Magispectors, and then BA, and then it goes from there. So yeah, that's it for the deck itself. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a much shorter version, and thus I wasn't able to go over all the nuances. But again, if you want to check that out, if you want to see all the nuances, check out the other video. It's in the section below, and tell me what your initial thoughts are on this ban list and what will be coming out of this. As for an actual discussion video, that's going to be in the next episode of Last Week in Yu-Gi-Oh! So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a big one at this rate, because there are spoilers and this ban list to talk about. Anywho, that's all for now, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, this is Blue39, jacking out.